What is going on, guys? It's Modded Warfare here. Welcome back to another PS4 tutorial. So yeah, a lot of stuff is coming out for PS4s. I've got such a backlog of videos on different things for the PS4. So right now I'm going to be showing you guys how to basically get free games, because that's totally possible now. You can get free games and they're very easy to install. Very easy, not like really compared to the 1.76 method where you had to use donor discs. This is miles easier, much easier. So very simple, should be quite a quick video actually. So all we're going to do is, first of all, obviously you need to have your PS4 set up with the Spectre or IDC exploit. I've done a full tutorial on how to do that, which will be linked in the cards at the top right hand corner of the screen, or at the end of the video, or in the description. It will be somewhere. So full tutorial on that. Make sure you have that set up, and obviously this is only available on 4.05 firmware, so your PS4 needs to be on firmware version 4.05. Okay, so now that we've cleared that up, let's go ahead and get some games. So where I go for games is psxhacks.com, and if you click on PS4 jailbreaking here on the right in the categories, you'll see that there's a bunch of games. We've got Dying Light, you know, you've got all these kind of games. You've got Final Fantasy, you've got Uncharted 4, lots of games here, Grand Theft Auto, Diablo, Little Big Planet. Keep going, there's loads and loads of games that you can go ahead and download. So I've downloaded two games. Well, one's a game trial kind of, or demo. I've downloaded PT, Playable Trailer, and I've downloaded Dying Light, and I'm going to show you how to install them. And obviously this will be the same process for pretty much any game you download, as long as the game that you're downloading is in package file format and not in the raw game files. I'll probably do a tutorial later on how to, if you've got a game that's just the raw game files, how to actually make that into a package file. But right now we're just looking at games that are already in package file format because they're very easy to install. So what you're looking for with the game is, it should say that it's a PKG. So if I click this here, you can see that it's a .package file. So make sure it's a package file version of the game that you're downloading. Pretty much all the new games that people are posting now are in package file format. So go ahead and download them. So once you have your games downloaded, you want to put them on a USB stick. Now make sure the USB stick is in exFAT format, exFAT, not NTFS, because that will not be recognized, not FAT32 because you can't put any files over 4 gigabytes on a FAT32 device. And obviously most games are much larger than 4 gigs, so you need it to be in exFAT format, exFAT. You can just right click on the USB, click format, and select exFAT as the file system, and then click start, and that will format it in exFAT. Then what you want to do is just drag the two package files, or however many package files, however many games you downloaded, drag them onto the USB stick. Make sure they're in the root of the USB stick, not in any folders. And then all you have to do is unplug the USB and plug it into the PS4. Okay, so once you're on the PS4, what you're going to want to do is head to the internet browser. Now, obviously, if you've set things up the way I showed in my full tutorial, then you'll have this page here. Okay, so I just wanted to throw this in here because this page has been updated since I recorded that last bit. So essentially now we have an FTP version of Xvortex and a dumper version and a hen version. So the one you want is -hen. Hen stands for Homebrew Enabler, so that is the one you want. Now if you are hosting locally, and I'll just show you what happens with this version, it's a bit different. It comes up with a little message here saying exploit successful, checking kernel status, and it says done, and that means it's enabled. Now let's say, for example, you don't have this page, or you don't have the Xvortex options because maybe you're using the locally hosted one which only has Spectre and IDC. Now you can still do this with Spectre and IDC, it just means you have to inject the PS4 hen payload on your computer. So let's say we were going to do IDC. So you just load something like IDC, and the bar should load halfway, and when it's loaded halfway it means it's waiting for payload. So then all you do is go onto your computer, open up say Netcat GUI, and change the port to 9020 and make sure your PS4's IP address is entered here, and then you just drag your PS4 hen.bin into the payload file path and click inject payload, and when it says done it means it has injected. So, and as long as you don't get any errors on the page, then that means that it has injected and you have access to Homebrew and the debug settings. So yeah, that's just another way you can do it if you don't have access to the Xvortex options on that page. And the debug settings will now be enabled. But you have to bear in mind this is not the same as just injecting the normal debug settings as you would do through a payload through Spectre or IDC. This is actually enabling Homebrew as well as unlocking the debug settings, because you need both of those in order to install these package files. So we're going to go ahead into the debug settings, then we're going to go to Game, then we're going to go to Package Installer, and then the packages on the USB should show up, and then all you have to do is select the package you want to install and it will start installing that package. So there we go, it's installing PT Playable Trailer. So this is like pretty small, this is about 1.25 gigabytes I think, so it's not going to take too long to install. The other game, which is Dying Light, that's about 12 gigs or something, it's a lot bigger, so it's going to take a bit longer to install, of course. Alright, so with PT installed, we'll go ahead and install Dying Light now. Same thing. Now here's the thing, if you did this through the debug settings, just by enabling the debug settings through Spectre or IDC, and you tried to install this package file, Dying Light, or any of the other game package files that you've downloaded, you'll get an error immediately. Like as soon as you press X to install, it'll be like error CE-3078 or something like that. It will not let you install them. That is why you have to do it through the Homebrew enabler, PS4 hen, through either Dark Software website or through the DNS. Dying Light has also installed now, and that's it. So from here we can basically back out, and there's PT and there's Dying Light, and as you can see they're unlocked and ready to be played. So all I have to do is, let's try PT first. And just because this game loads up quite quickly, I believe, because it's more of just a demo. But Dying Light is the full game, which is why I also did Dying Light, to show you that it does work on full games as well. We'll run Dying Light after this. Alright, there we go. That actually took way too long to start up. That was weird. Okay, so here we go. Game is starting, as you can see. Not played this before, but I've seen people play it in the past. So there you go. As you can see, PT running perfectly fine right there. So what I'm going to do now is start up Dying Light. So we'll back out of here, close application, and start Dying Light. And there you go. Dying Light is also running. Well, loading at least. Let's see if it actually starts running. There we go. Can I skip this? Doesn't look like it. And there we go. As you can see, it loads up perfectly fine. I've already installed this game in the past, which is why I still have a save on here. So yeah, there you go. As you can see, game is running perfectly fine there as well. So another thing I'm just going to show you guys is what happens when you restart your PS4 and try and play them again, because when you restart your PS4, these games will be locked. They'll have a little padlock symbol and you won't be able to run them. So I'll just show you what happens there. You don't have to reinstall the game every time you want to play it or anything like that. Okay, so we're back on the PS4 here after the restart, so we're going to go ahead and try and launch the games again, and as you can see this time they are locked. So if I try and start it, you'll see it just comes up with a message saying to purchase it from the store. So all you have to do to get access to the games after you restart is you just have to reload the Homebrew enabler. So if we just head on here, go on Xvortex again, or the other website, and then it says done, and then from there you can just close, press the middle button, and they'll still show up with the padlock symbol, but if you start them you can see it now works. So that is how you basically get access to your games after you restart the PS4. So yeah, that's basically it. That is how you get free games completely free, and And as you can see, it's pretty easy. You just put the package file on the USB stick, you install it via the homebrew enabler, and then you can play the game. Some games are reported to have issues with the saving, so some games you can't save game, it screws up. Most games I think are fine. I know Dying Light's fine, it keeps my save, everything's good, but some games do not are having issues with the save games. So not sure which games those are, but it's probably just a small number of games that have that issue. Most of the games will be fine. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you guys in the next one.